Hello guys, this is Dubstep, also known as Civil Fallout, as you may know if you follow my Instagram, or yeah, that's it. So this is my Q&A. The Q&A I originally said I'd do when I had about 1,500 followers. We're now almost doubled that. Yeah, I'm not very good at sticking to deadlines and shit. So this is the actual Q&A. So yeah, I've got about, I think, 25 questions, which is a bit more than last time. I think about 13 last time, so almost double, almost. Like an inch away. So yeah. Now, just a little quick thing. If your question isn't included, I'll try and include everyone that I could find. If it is included, just let me know, and I'll try and include it in the next one, or I might just address it in a live stream, or even a post. That are the ones that are leftovers. There's nothing wrong with the question. I just might have missed it from when I was going through trying to get all the things from the DMs and comments. In addition, some questions I've edited, just maybe it's just the spelling, maybe it was the I don't know, it could have been numerous reasons why I altered the question, or if you've also asked the same question as someone else, I would have put it into compiled the question together, and I'll say everyone who asked that question. So without further ado, we shall get into it. My phone is very bright, so I'm going to turn down that brightness, because yeah, only someone who has nothing to talk about addresses the brightness of the thing. It's doing it again. It's very dark in here. I'll be back in just a moment. I'm going to brighten up the room. And by the powers of shitty editing, I am back. And the room is slightly more brighter than before. So yeah, let us kick off the first question. This is from Arj. If I don't know how to pronounce your name, I'm just shortening it or saying it as I think to say it. If it's yours as a question, then yeah, well, I'll answer your question. So this is from Arj. Favourite Fallout character or creature? That's a bit of a difficult question because you said character or creature, which means it's hard to actually differentiate between which one. I've already got a question on favourite creature, so I'm going to answer on a favourite character. My favourite character in the Fallout series is probably Harold. I feel bad for Harold because he's a guy who's got a tree stuck to his fucking head because of FEV. FEV, yes, that's the one that fucks everyone's lives over. They either become a weird demented dog or some weird Shrek-looking creature. And Harold is one of the he's probably more unfortunate because he remembers his life, and his life's not really, his memories aren't affected, nor is his intelligence. He's actually kind of just ruined because the tree grows and kind of eventually traps him by the time of Fallout 3. So his life is pretty shit, to be fair. And then people won't actually kill him like he's asking. They basically see it's a test, which would piss me off as well. Now, second question from someone whose name begins with Cthulhu, so I'm just going to call him Cthulhu. It says, favourite Fallout game? Now, this is, once again, I got asked this in the last Q&A, but I'm going to answer any questions that have been re-asked again for any new people. And my favourite Fallout game is probably the first game I played of the Fallout series, which is Fallout 3. I never actually initially liked Fallout 3, I was really shit at it. So when I first played the game, I left the vault. I didn't go to Megaton. I went straight into DC, died from Super numerous times, hated it, sold the game because I was really shit at it. Then played New Vegas, enjoyed it, then bought Fallout 3 because the Broken Steel DLC came out and it looked fucking awesome. Now I've played Fallout 3 again, and I really enjoy it. It's definitely my favourite Fallout, and I think it's the one best at capturing almost the post-apocalyptic experience in the series. I have played 1, 2, 3, 4, and New Vegas, but I would say Fallout 3 for the first one I really got into and really thought connected to me in terms of the way they did it, is why it's my favourite. Don't hate me. Now from Charitable, do you like eggplants, grapefruit, or both? Wink wink, nudge nudge, kill me now. I don't actually know how you can get a sexual thing from eggplants and grapefruit, but if you somehow got some weird sexual innuendo thing from it, well done. I don't know. I like grapefruit. I've not really tried eggplants. I think they're weird. So if that answers your question, I'm sorry if I'm not getting the undertone there. Moving on. So yeah, the next question is from Julian, which says, for how long have you been playing Fallout 3? No, just Fallout, sorry. So I'm playing Fallout for at least a few years now. It's got to be, I'm trying to think actually, probably since 2010 if I can remember. So it's been a good 7 years. Okay, so the next question from Real Max, and also Tom Bass, and What's Trent? favourite faction. If you've not realised this now, which is quite surprising because I try to stay low-key biased, but I kind of find difficult times. My favourite faction is the Enclave before all the Brotherhood of Steel marching going, Ad Victor! And start screaming to the chats and all that fucking shit. Okay, first of all, if any of you are one of these Brotherhood of Steel people who keep spamming, like, well, not spam Ad Victorium, but they don't actually argue at all, they just shout Ad Victorium to actually win the argument, fuck off. I really hate them people. And also there's railroad people who say, oh, we can take down the Brotherhood. I'm sorry, but if anyone thinks in the law that the railroad takes down the Brotherhood, you're retarded. There's no way that can happen. Sorry, going off track here. So my favourite faction has to be the Enclave, mainly because of the fact that they're definitely one of the most technologically advanced factions, as well as the fact they're incredibly fucking determined. Like, I'm sorry, you see in Fallout 2, that whole fucking oil rig got blew up. They came to DC with like a massive army. Then they're still around by the time of early New Vegas. So they still keep fighting. They lose bases, and they'll still keep pushing. And then there's rumours apparently they're still in space. So it's like, what? So that's why I like the Enclave, is they're pretty damn determined and they're pretty damn advanced. Or they were, and they're pretty much gone now. So next question from your boy Peter and also Scuba Fallout. Both of them ask different varieties of this question, but I'm going to answer them both as one. It says, will the Enclave rise again? If they do, it'll be quite tough to do, and it has to be really clever storytelling to actually make it work without seeming like just trying to pull back an old enemy. Because the Enclave have been pretty much kicked in the balls numerous times. It's not... I like the Enclave, even I have to admit, they've basically been pretty smashed. I don't really see how they could recover from what they've got. But if they were, there's rumours that they actually were in space, and there's a lot of good evidence to suggest they are actually in space. It's quite random, but I've seen a lot of decent evidence to suggest that. So it depends how you see it, in my opinion. The Enclave could come back, but as I said, it took an extreme bit of storytelling to actually get it to work, because of how big of a blow they've been dealt. I personally feel that, despite what some people think, I feel that Brothers of Steel and the Enclave will eventually go away. I think they'll try to focus on Fallout in the future and almost break away from the old factions and almost try to show a bit more of new sides of things rather than focusing on the whole Enclave versus Brotherhood of Steel which seems to be going on for a little while. And also don't think they'll stick with the Brotherhood for too much longer. I think because you can see Brotherhood, they've slowly started losing interest in them. Next question from Chevron. If you had to live in any city in any of the Fallout games, where would you live in? From what we've seen so far, I don't really know, to be honest, because there's a load of interesting areas. Personally, I like the idea. As corrupted as I like the way the NCR does things. I do feel that they operate on a seemingly similar to now basis. So in that, I probably live in somewhere like the Hub or Shady Sands, somewhere that's a bit almost close to their influence. Or yeah, Shady Sands is obviously within their influence. But yeah, so I'd probably live in I'm not sure if it's really city, I'm not really sure, but I'd probably live somewhere like that. If not, I would probably go somewhere like New Vegas, just something that's a bit close to modern or current society, in my opinion. Okay, next question comes from Aminus. Should gay people be allowed to marry? Yes. I'm not going to be all edgy and be like, oh, gay people should be executed, and so I'll probably edit that out, make me look like some sort of monster. But I'm like me full serious now. I'm getting a little tired of random. I've been debated a couple of people who are religious, and some of them are actually fine. They're like, oh, gay people have no problem with them. That's fine. I was like, oh, good. But then you get some gay people who are like, oh, but the Bible says that thou shalt not sleep with other men. It doesn't literally say that. I'm just saying it's a part of the build on the joke. Leave me alone. So yeah. And some people kind of say that they shouldn't be allowed to marry. It's like, why not? Like, if you're going... I'm going to get a little bit philosophical at this point, or if you can see it philosophical, quite serious at this point, but I don't really care. In no point in the Bible... No, at no point in the origins of marriage aren't actually Christianity. In case anyone had that mysterious illusion, marriage wasn't created by Christianity, nor was it created really by any modern religion. It was actually some of the earlier... I think it was even earlier than Romans, who actually created some sort of, like, for example, even the Romans actually had some rules in terms of being with other men. So to kind of get into the illusion that it's Christianity and other religions that birthed marriage, there's always been almost a connection of like a man and a woman or any other couple. So you can't go pulling in the religious argument because it's actually bullshit, because you didn't actually create marriage. So yeah, if you don't like that, you can unfollow. I really don't care. Usually I don't post anything like this in terms of content and memes and stuff. So if you're going to unfollow for that reason, it's quite pathetic, because I usually won't bring it into my Instagram posts. It's only if I'm asked directly will I answer like this. Continuing. Jay Roberts, will you do a face reveal? Right here. Right here. Right here. I don't know why I did that. Also, if you're watching my live streams, I also do face reveals. I'm not one of those ones who just show their TV and just start playing Fallout and chat in the background like, hey guys, this is John 60 Gamer here. I don't know why I did that. This is a weird Q&A, so you really shouldn't be watching any more of this. I reckon you click off now and watch my other video, which is my theory of Civil War and the Brothers Deal, because I don't do a face reveal in that. So you probably enjoy that bit more. Next question, BR Marshall. Can people enjoy a game without caring about the lore of the world? Now, BR Marshall is one of the people who's actually commented a couple of times saying he's not really interested in the lore, which I don't mind, to be fair. I try and post every now and then some gameplay stuff just to appease people who are not very interested in lore and just interested in memes and gameplay. It's an interesting question, to be fair. But I do think, for example, if you enjoy the memes of a game, the lore a lot of the jokes you won't get if you don't actually know the lore. And also, you can, in theory, overall enjoy a game. Like, I'm not going to say you can't enjoy the game if you don't know the lore, but the lore just almost adds a bit more juice to the story. The quests make more sense. For example, if you know if you've done the Dunwich Borrows section in Fallout 4, you'd understand that that's a reference not only to Cthulhu, but even to an earlier Fallout 3, and Point Lookout, where they actually reference some like an overall dark entity. It is actually a reference back to earlier Fallouts as well. So you'd understand that if you understood the lore of the previous games and understood really what the whole thing was about. So it's, once again, you can still enjoy the game. It just sometimes adds a bit more juice to stories and missions and what you kind of come across in the Commonwealth or in any other areas of the games you're playing. Now, from Slasher Gaming, can you please do more live videos with a lot of emphasis on the more videos with the exclamation marks? Yes, I will be doing more live videos. Actually, the day I'm recording this, I'm also doing another live stream, and hopefully I'll be doing a lot more. I've been quite busy recently, of course, my trip to Sweden for a week, so I've been a little busy. However, I will do more live videos again. I'll try and do more topic-based ones, but I might not. I might just ramble, because I do think people enjoy them. So I'm going to try and do some more lore ones. People ask me anything about the lore, and I'll just discuss them to the best of my ability. So yeah, keep an eye out for them, because I'll be doing more of them. Next question from Super Hernan. Why doesn't the music in the Fallout universe evolve in other styles as rock or electronic? I don't actually understand the question, to be honest. I think it was evolute, which is actually the original word he used instead of evolve. But of course, Fallout set in the 1950s, rock and electronics, I don't think actually around in that time. Maybe rock at a push, but electronics not. I don't know much about music history, but pretty certain even rock wasn't really around at that time. So as a result, you're not really going to have much in terms of style. I understand that there should be more styles. I'm expecting at least the blues to be around in that time. But I think they set the music for the sort of era or the sort of gameplay you want you to have. For example, Old World Blues is more of a depressing area. So they actually did have some sort of like blues sort of songs to it, because it matched almost the area you were in. So I think the fact that, for example, Fallout 4, you almost have a really bright palette of colours. You've got almost a very vibrant atmosphere compared to the early games. You've got really upbeat music like Uranium Fever, Butcher Pete, all this sort, and also Atom Bomb Baby, which is my favourite. So it's a sort of music that really is really upbeat and keeps you almost enjoying the game, not really down to songs like you had in Old World Blues, for example. Next question. I Need Healing asked, what's your favourite one-liner? I actually don't know. There's a lot of good one-liners, I must admit. My favourite, in my opinion, basically my favourite is, I've got a gun, get in the fucking van. So yeah, that joke got ruined by the fact that I fucked up the line. But yeah. Okay, next question. From Kyle Blake asks, have you lost your virginity? Yes, and we shall say nothing more. Next question from Jack Everett. Do you think... Actually, no, I need to go back to that a second, actually. I can't just leave it like that. Just to clarify, it was legal. It was all legal. Okay, actually now, from Jack Everett. Do you think EZP will be a major faction in Fallout 5? Stop. Stop with EZP. It's literally... You can take this chance now. Leave the room. Go outside. You see that car? Walk in front of said car and stay where the car is going to hit and succumb to the injury. Stop with Easy Pete now. Next question from the kid with green hair. With the green hair, sorry. Who is sexier, forks or dog meat? Stop it. What is wrong with you people? Who's sexier, forks or dog meat? He's a dog and he's a super mutant. Well, to be fair, he was a guy. So, just for the sake of not fucking dogs, I'm going to say forks. Next question from Hoodlum Spider. What is your opinion on Caesar's Legion and would you ever want to see them revisited in future games? I don't know, to be fair. The only way I'd actually expect to see Caesar's Legion is if you actually got to see where they live. Like, if you actually got an insight of how they operate within their own homeland. Because I must admit, from New Vegas, NZR interested me because you heard so much about how they're falling apart in the West. But I felt you didn't really see much. Caesar's Legion felt a bit static, in my opinion. You didn't really see much of them. And if anything, they felt a bit. Obviously, they felt a bit weak because they're fucking tribes of machetes. But they just didn't feel like they actually had much of lore going to with them. They didn't really. Within NCR, you saw them growing from from Shady Sands. You saw them evolve into a massive empire, essentially. But with Caesar's Legion, it almost seems like more of a recent thing. It doesn't really. You don't get the sense that they've been around for a long time. So it almost seems like an instant or pop-up thing. Oh, look, here's Caesar's Legion. So I think I'd like to see them, but I'd like to know more about origins in terms of actually seeing their homeland, seeing how they grew up, and things like that. Unless I've just missed stuff in the earlier games, I don't actually remember seeing much of them. I don't think I saw really any of them. So yeah, that's my thoughts. It's only if I'd see the homeland would actually want to see them again, really. Now from Joel Olson, do I get 1 civil bucks for following you below 100? Well done. My memes used to be really shit, and I used to repost like a common dickhead. Until that actually ran about my between 100 and 200 followers. I then eventually started creating my own, and that was basically how I've got to where I am today. It's basically I started making my own stuff, and if you make your own content, you deserve to do well. If you don't make your own content and repost, if you repost with credit, you deserve to do reasonably well. If you don't repost with credit, you actually need to stop. And it disappoints me that a lot of accounts keep reposting stuff without credit. And I'm basically going to start ranting and start almost adjusting how I deal with my Instagram based on that sort of attitude about reposting and original content. So keep in mind of that. And if you're one of those accounts, keep in mind of that. Now, Stonewall Jackson, how did you come up with the name Jamstack? Now, that's actually a very good question, because not only is that my YouTube name, but it's also my Instagram, little nickname thing. Originally, I had a YouTube account called Yemon Lemon. Don't look it up because it's a load of shit. And basically, I had an idea of doing a little spin-off account for doing random stuff. Because Yemon Lemon became also a vlog Fallout account. It was really terrible. Don't look at it. So I was making a spin-off account, which I was going to call Jamsack the Russian Clown. I don't know why I chose that. Eventually, I decided not to call it that. I just didn't do it. And when I created my Instagram thing, I eventually decided to call my nickname Jamsack, and then my Instagram account became Jamsack the Fallout Guy. So that's how it became like that. How I came up with it, I don't even know. It was just a random idea, and it just sounded funny in my head. I think it's Jade Smiley. I don't really know. I think it's Jade Smiley. What major story directions did you go on in the last 2 Fallouts? I'm going to base this on my in terms of the first one I went with, not which one I preferred or anything like that. For Fallout 4, I went with the Institute, mainly because of the fact that I actually didn't want to just live in a shithole. I actually wanted to live in a nice, clean area, which the Institute basically has. You don't feel like you're shitting in, this thing you're going to be eating out of, pretty much. Like a toilet. And in Fallout in Vegas, I actually ended up going with the Mr. House the first time round, mainly because I just liked him, he was cool, and he's pretty awesome. He's got almost a really smug but quite charismatic attitude to him, and I just enjoy following him around like a bitch. Now from Sentinel Nate, so what are your thoughts on Elder Max and possibly becoming High Elder? If you watch my video on the Brotherhood Steel Civil War, I do actually address this idea, and I do feel that that's his primary interest at the moment, is to gain territory and gain notoriety within the Brotherhood in order to take control of the High Council in the form of the High Elder, while they're currently fighting the NCR. That's just my opinion, it's my little theory, and I may discuss it in a later video, but I have addressed it already before, so just keep an eye if I do. Now from Ethan Esser, this is a long fucking question, and it is a weird one. Get myself ready for it. If you had to wear a bra, what colour would you wear? And what colour would you wear? If you answer blue or red... What? I think the original question, I messed it up, I think, when I was writing this down. If you had to wear a bra, what kind would you wear and what colour? If you answer blue or red, I'm coming to you by Bert and I'm going to change your gender. Also, have you gotten pregnant yet? Okay, it's a long question, and any of those just worry about the pregnant part. On the last video, I'm pretty certain he asked the question asking if I was pregnant, and ask why not if I'm not. I'm still not pregnant, mainly because I'm still not able to have children, mainly because I'm a male, and also because I'm not kidnapped any children yet. And in the question of bra, I would probably wear a blue bra if I was going to have to wear a bra. I know it's weird, but I'm going to answer it because it's the question. And what type of bra? I don't know. It depends what size I need it. I don't know. Like, these things might need bras. I don't know. Don't ask me this stuff. It creeps me out. It makes me insecure. Okay. Spook Me Softly asked, who is the best companion in the Fallout series in your opinion? It's probably have to be Lily. Lily's the Grandma Super Mutant, and she is fucking hilarious. Like, she literally just search up videos of Lily, and she is fucking brilliant. Like, she's a super mutant who wears a little hat with a little flower on it. She thinks she's a grandma, and she carries a vertibird wing as a weapon. What is not to love with Lily, the super mutant grandma? Now, from Alex Platzt, I don't know how to pronounce your name, so I'm going to call you Platzt. What's your favourite mob in Fallout? I actually had to ask him what he meant by mob, because I'm fucking stupid. And what he meant by that was creatures, which is what I was meaning back earlier when I said someone asked that question. My favourite creature in Fallout has to be... I'm trying to think, actually. I'd probably say Deathclaw, because, yes, it's very cliche, and everyone says Deathclaw, it's like, oh, you shut up. But I think the Deathclaws are interesting. Like, they're incredibly interesting. They've been affected by the Enclave, they've been affected by the Master. Pretty much everyone's had their hands on their dicks at some point. And also, they're probably the scariest. New Vegas, I've never been more terrified of a creature than I was in Deathclaws in New Vegas. I feel they fucked them up in 4. I felt they weren't as scary, and they're just not as powerful. But I still think they're a staple creature in Fallout, and I think it'd be weird not to have a game with them in it. Now, last question from Eric. Eric, what time are you going to fuck me? Whenever you're free. And what I'd do is you just send me an email on my email address, which is on Instagram, to give us a time when we will get cracking. My live stream's probably going to be just as weird as this. Just watch. It's going to be fucking weird as well. Thanks for watching Weird Questions. And I currently hate life. Bye, people who follow my account.